What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We got another explainer video with Neil deGrasse Tyson. This one is talking about the end of encryption. All right, so the end of encryption. I know that might sound good in a lot of ways because it's like sometimes passwords and password processes just be so annoying. But at the same time, what are you going to replace it with? We need some kind of security. So let's see what they got to say about this one. Let's go. Okay, computer tripping. Oh, there we go.
This is Star Talk. Neil deGrasse Tyson here, your personal astrophysicist. I've got with me my co-host, Chuck Nice, and together we welcome my friend and colleague, Michio Kaku, who's a professor of theoretical physics at the City College of New York. And he just published a book titled Quantum Supremacy. Ooh. And we're taking questions from our Patreon members. Chuck, what's the first question up that you got?
All right, here's Daniel Kilokowski, or Kulakowski. That's probably Daniel Kulakowski, who says, "Hello, Dr. Tyson, Dr. Kaku, and I will assume Lord Nice. From the Research Triangle of
Lord
North
Nice. I love
Carolina,
it.
I hail, and I would like to ask, what would you say is the biggest national security consideration of quantum computing technology?"
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that
Michio.
something? Good.
All
good
right, what do you
stuff
got going there, Michio?
Daniel?
Well, the biggest national security question about quantum computers is the fact that the CIA would be put out of business. All security people would be fired because all the secrets would be open to anybody with a quantum computer. Any teenager with a quantum computer would be able to tap into, the crown jewels of
Wait,
security.
Michio, I try to log into my own bank account. If I get the password wrong 3 times, it locks me out and I have to call in to get reestablished. So how is it that a quantum computer can get into my bank account by testing a billion, zillion, squillion passwords, and I can't because I mess up, I got fat thumbs 3 times in a row?
Well, if you want to break into a computer of a bank, the first thing the computer asks you for is to factorize this number. This number has maybe 100 digits. And how long will it take you to factorize a number with 100 digits? A few thousand years. So in other words, yeah, you could break into a regular bank, but it would take a few thousand years to do that. With a quantum computer, you could do that with the flick of a dial. That's the power because the computer asks you, please factorize this number. If you could
Wait,
do that,
no computer has ever asked me to do that. Are you saying that's happening under the hood?
That's not like you got lost all of us on that one for a second. It was like, wait, we've never been asked to factorize the numbers. Is that something that's happening in the background and everything? So I don't know. Let's see what the explanation is.
If that were the starter question, nobody would have any access to any computer at all. So is that just happening under the hood?
And by the way, that's why I never turn on my two-factor.
Oh, you worried you'll get locked out?
if you have a password of, let's say, 6 digits, how long would it take for a computer to go through every single one of those 6 digits?
This is my point. When I mess up 3 times, I'm locked out for an hour, all right? So why do I believe that it can blow through a bajillion, squillion attempts and then get in? Why should I believe
because
that?
this is not how the average person gets into a site. This is how the banks monitor who comes into the site. This is what the big boys do when they start to talk to each other. They don't use these little passwords.
That's
they use
under the hood.
factorization.
It's under the hood. Okay. So, all right. No, but maybe it's not that the CIA will go out of business or all security will go out of business. It's that we came up with this security protocol knowing it was out of reach of traditional computing. So surely there's another security protocol where quantum computing would take 1,000 years, isn't there, or not?
Well, so far, the highest level of security.
I don't want to think about a security system that would trip up a quantum computer, because you know what that means for us? How many layers of passwords or hoops we had to jump through just to get through to our own stuff at that point. It's like the more powerful the computers are, the more the more elaborate the passwords and the security system is becoming, which becomes just more of a headache for all of us. And all because of the hackers. It's your fault, hackers.
Security is done by factorization. Okay.
No, but
That's how banks talk to each other.
it was invented because we knew it was hard for computers. So
Right.
you're smart. Come up with something else.
What would come after factorization? And you know, what would be? Here's a better question: how would I stop a quantum computer from getting into my stuff?
Right.
No
With a
answer.
Okay.
Just roll up, roll up to there's a spot and just shoot the damn computer. Just be like, I'm done with this damn quantum computer. Oh man, that's funny.
Which is America. We're going to stop you at the front steps.
That's the most,
No,
that's the most patriotic answer you can have.
So, Michio, it just seems to me we have smart people out there. They come up with some other task that would be damn near impossible or forever task even for quantum computing. There's bound to be something, right?
If you could find it and patent it or copyright it, you'd be a rich man right now.
Okay, because it's the early days.
They're
Right?
right.
Hey, they let you know if you have an idea and how to trip up a quantum computer, get to work on it. Get to work on it. Be the first to make it happen. You'll be rich.
You realize the world economy, it rests on the answer to this question. The world economy.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You could break into anything you want if you had a way to get around some of these protocols.
So now we know what the real motivation for this race is. Now
It's
we know
money.
what it is. It's money.
It's always money.
He who rules the quantum computer rules the
Rules
world.
the world economy.
It's always money. And so now we know that there's a quantum computer race because, yeah, it's always about money. Always.
That's right. It rules the world economy. Right?
That's crazy.
That's why people work on it. That's why he wrote the book. Hey, look, this is coming very fast.
Respect. It's like, that's why I wrote the book. I'm trying to get on this too, man.
Hey guys, apologies for the interruption. I wanted to take a quick break and thank our partners at AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Now, for those of you who don't know, delicious nutrition.
This is your book, Quantum Supremacy. That's the title of your damn book.
Yeah.
Quantum Supremacy.
That's right.
How quantum computing will change everything.
Wow.
All right. Chuck, you got another question.
This is Gavin Bomber from North Vancouver. And he says, hello, and please visit.
He's lonely up there. I don't know.
Exactly.
If anyone identifies their location in Canada as north of anything, it's got to be cold and lonely.
Yeah.
Because most of the Canadian population is like right at the border with
Right.
the United States.
Right,
So
that makes sense, yeah.
he's North Vancouver. All
He
right.
says, how is quantum computing going to be used to help solve the climate crisis?
Oh, I like that.
That's a really great.
Good one.
Yeah.
Michio, what are we not being able to compute that quantum computing will do for us? Will it make better weather models? Better climate models?
That's one thing. Realize that when you model the Earth, how do you model the planet Earth? You divide the atmosphere into cubes, and then you calculate the weather in each cube, and then you average it over the entire Earth. That's how you calculate the weather of the future. Now, how big is each cube? Each cube is several miles across. Now you say to yourself, what? If each data point is a few miles across, you can't trust any of these results. And that's the problem.
Well, that's because something could be happening at the edge of the mile,
right.
and they'll average it into where you are, and it won't apply. Okay,
Yeah.
so that means you want smaller cubes in your
Smaller
model.
cubes, that's right. That's where quantum computers comes in, because they are infinitely more powerful. The things that they manipulate are not zeros and ones for each 10-mile cube. No, they are infinitely small. And so now you begin to realize the power of this technique. We're going down to the molecular scale. We're going down to a scale that is unreachable with digital computers.
Wait, so Eeyore was ahead of his time. Do you remember Eeyore? Eeyore
donkey?
from Winnie the Pooh, the donkey. I think it's Eeyore. He has a cloud that's raining just over him.
Yeah.
So whatever the weather modeling, the cube is small enough to just affect the donkey and nobody else. That's the kind of weather precision you're talking about here.
Right. And when a hurricane is about to hit Florida, They have all the projections of where it's going to hit landfall. And then you see all the different kinds of trajectories. They're way off. They're way off. And these are the best computers that we have.
Wait, in all fairness, they start close to each other and then they diverge.
That's right.
Over time.
So how reliable is that? Right? With a quantum computer, you should be able to get much, much better numbers because of the fact that each cube that you're averaging over is not 10 miles across, but maybe a few feet across.
Wow.
And my favorite Trump joke ever was that Trump only got interested in climate change and weather when he found out that they model that the
messed up his own
hurricane used European models.
That's actually a good joke.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke, yeah.
I don't take credit for that. But so Michio, why the Europeans had different computing power or different ideas about how weather systems would operate relative to we here across the pond?
Each computer program has a different way of chopping up the Earth in terms of cubes. And then within each cube, using equations to model the weather in each individual cube. And then lastly, to then wrap all these cubes together to get the weather of the entire Earth. That's a lot of assumptions. That's a lot of models. And that's why we can never predict the exact path of a hurricane. You see that.
Wait. So does this mean that if quantum computers become a thing and they start actually helping us in this way with weather, does this mean that the weatherman will actually start being right for once? The weather report is like nearly never right. It's like you know the joke? The weatherman is the one job we could be wrong every day without getting fired. Is quantum computing going to change that? Are we going to have accurate weathermen for the first time ever? Imagine that. But I do think it's interesting, though, if it is capable of actually like monitoring weather patterns all the way down to like the example of Eeyore, I feel like is a bit extreme. But even if it was that accurate, that'd be amazing. But even something I feel is like maybe something a little bit more realistic, like just a block, like a city block by block, that'd be impressive too. But if it was really that good to where it could really just the weather around like a 3 feet radius, that would be extremely impressive. I wouldn't know what to say about that one. But yeah, interesting.
Every time.
I just wouldn't have thought that a continent would have its own set of models relative to another continent. That's all. That seemed kind of provincial to me.
You got it.
The Euro model.
Digital computers are very provincial.
All right, Michio, it's great. We got your book out, Quantum Supremacy. Audacious of you to title it that. I mean, I don't want that to be true, but we know that's what it's about. Yeah. We know. We're just being honest.
That's the name of the game.
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
It's better than the Bourne Supremacy.
Hey, now Born Supremacy was a good movie. Oh man, at least I liked it. No, but quantum computing sounds amazing, and I really hope we get there soon. I mean, as far as the security goes, somebody's gonna think of something. They always do. But what I'm more excited about is what it's gonna do for gaming. You know, if we get computers that can handle so much more than what we have now, that can do what quantum computing is said to be able to do. Could you imagine just how clean online gaming would be? As a gamer myself, that would be so great to me. So let's hope that this also is positive for the gaming community as well. Hopefully. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yep, we're coming close towards the end.
Chuck, one last question. See if we can fit one in.
Oh, last one.
This is David. Hey, David here from upstate New York. Hi to all. I don't think Dell and HP will be selling quantum computers at Walmart anytime soon, and that's what concerns me the most. Quantum computing will most likely be used by large corporations and governments and the ultra-wealthy. Between AI and advanced quantum computing, can you describe one benefit it will bring to me, the average person? Do you think it will unite humanity, divide us further into havens and haves and have-nots? Please. Thank you in advance.
I will say, before he even gives his real answer, my answer to that is, of course, it's going to divide. Everything we try to do is, because there's always some group of people that just disagree, like, no, I hate that. So that's just, and on top of that, Of course, big corporations and wealthy people are going to have quantum computing first. That's how it goes. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. That's how it's always been. All right, so I don't know why.
Well,
All right.
all technologies, when they are first invented,
Exactly.
usually benefit the people who invested in it, which are usually wealthy people, people with connections. But then mass production kicks in, competition kicks in, prices start to go down as a consequence. But every technology, name them all, going back to the Stone Age, the first people to introduce technologies had the advantage, and they used it to get rich or to be powerful.
It is true, Michio. Wheels are pretty cheap today. I
Right.
think.
Depending on where you
Same thing
go.
with quantum computers. Eventually,
Wheels are pretty cheap depending on where you go, man. If you want some good tires, they're going to cost you.
we'll all have a chip. For example, in our contact lens, we'll have a connection to the internet in the cloud. The quantum computers will be in the cloud, and you will access it with your wristwatch, your contact lens. You'll blink, and then you'll have access to the computing power.
Or the
of a
implant,
quantum
or the
computer.
neural implant. Yeah.
Right.
Or the neural implant. That's right. You simply think,
Okay.
and you get access to a quantum computer. But first,
All right.
initially, yeah, it's going to be the big banks and the CIA.
Yeah, that's going a little bit too far for me. I'm not trying to be plugged in on some Matrix type stuff. Nah, you could keep that one. I don't want no implants on me. No, thank you. I'll miss out on all the fun.
And people like that that'll be jumping on the quantum computer bandwagon. But then prices will begin to drop because of competition, mass production.
And they've always dropped for everything else, so that's the reason why you say that.
That's right.
And how quickly? Is this 10 years from now, 20 years, 5 years?
Well, right now, we already have achieved quantum supremacy. That's already been achieved, but not for general questions. That's what we want. An all-purpose quantum computer for any general question. That'll take maybe another 10 years.
Another 10 years.
But we're going exponentially fast. We're up to 1,000 qubits now. That was unheard of. If you were to talk to somebody just 10 years ago, they'd shake their heads. What? You'd be lucky to have 4 or 5 qubits. Now we're up to 1,000. Eventually, we'll be up to 1 million.
All right, and then when you come back on the show, you will be an animatronic hologram.
It'll just be his consciousness inside of, some kind of
jar.
plasma cloud that,
Or just a jar.
Right.
Or I'll be an avatar.
So that was just a taste of a much longer conversation Star Talk had with Michio Kaku, friend and professor of physics at the City University of New York. Check it out on Star Talk.
All right, so longer conversation. So you guys let me know if you actually want me to react to the whole conversation. I doubt it, but if y'all actually do, let me know. Anyway, that's going to do it for that one. So y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. And let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, all right? So, till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.